I'm sitting here amongst one of the greatest starts to a year in video game history, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm a little bit bored.
Boring.
My motivation to pick up a controller has, unfortunately, it's waned a little bit, and I'm not entirely sure why. Gaming fatigue hits at completely random times, and right now it's hitting me pretty hard. And to be honest, I think it could be due to the accessibility of it all. Recently, I've been pushing myself to play games that previously I probably wouldn't have spent too much focus or given too much attention to. And I think it could be because of Xbox Game Pass and PS Plus. There really isn't any fiscal barriers to stop you from trying hundreds and hundreds of titles, all available at the click of a button. Just in March alone, I've started several games. Jedi Fallen Order, I started again in the attempt to potentially get a platinum before Jedi Survivor comes out. Wolong Fallen Dynasty came out at the start of the month, and I decided to dip my toes into that one. I purchased Resident Evil 2 and 3 in the hopes of starting a completely new series that, to be honest, I've missed. After Dead Space and absolutely loving my time with that game, I wanted to try RE2 and RE3 before 4 came out, and they didn't really click. I jumped into Vampire Survivors, and while that was fun, it just didn't really grab my attention for very long. I dipped my toe back into Hitman World of Assassination after they consolidated all of the package, and with the new freelancer mode I thought I could jump in and have some more fun, but unfortunately given up on that one too. I bought Metroid Prime in the hopes of again jumping into a game that I completely missed at launch. While I've made a significant way through it, again, I just wasn't really feeling it. The Diablo 4 beta came out and I had a ball, but now that the beta's over, I decided to try Chia, the new PS Plus title. It's got a lot of charm, it's got a lot of character, but again, just something's not clicking. Alongside each of these titles, I do continue to play my one true constant, which has been almost up to a year now, Marvel Snap. I'm still not very good. I have not yet hit Infinite, but I continue to try, I continue to collect, and it's a game that just has me coming back for more. Each of the games that I've just mentioned are all wildly different. And it's not that they're bad in any way, quite the opposite in fact. Each of them could be looked at as absolute critical darlings. However, I'm just not feeling them. For me, this does happen from time to time. It hasn't happened for a few years, but I'm even finding myself looking forward and there isn't a heap that is really piquing my interest. Sure, there are some big hitters like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Tears of the Kingdom, I mentioned Diablo, but in between now and those titles, I think I need to stop forcing myself to try and play games in my moments of downtime. So what am I going to be doing while I wait for the next game to sweep me off my feet? I'll be spending more time outside with my family. I'm actually in the mood for some other forms of media. I've been reading the Game of Thrones series, A Song of Ice and Fire, for a little while now, and I want to really delve into book 2. They are hefty books, and for somebody that isn't a huge reader, this is an enormous undertaking for me. I've also been on again, off again reader of comics, and I'm going to be spending a little bit more time with some Marvel and DC comics that have really been interesting me. I'd like to finish Y the Last Man, spend some time with Grant Morrison's Batman, as well as Tom King's The Human Target. If you are looking for some comic recommendations, I highly recommend Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run, Jason Aaron's Thor run. Saga by Brian K. Vaughan is absolutely fantastic, and they've just come back from a couple of year hiatus. There's a good run of new releases since then, so I'm going to be delving back into that. Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil and Devil's Reign, and of course, Dark Knight by Frank Miller. I'll also be ensuring that I contribute to this channel more. As a hobby, I'm really enjoying it. Learning the editing skills and also sharing my thoughts with the 12 of you that continue to watch. There's a lot to learn and implement. One thing that I'd like to absolutely improve on is a little bit more consistency here. How do I remain consistent while juggling a family, a very unpredictable work schedule? That's for me to work out, and I'm really looking forward to doing so. So I guess my point of this video is fatigue with any hobby can hit randomly at any point in time, and for a number of different reasons. I typically use gaming as an outlet, as a way to wind down from a hard work day, of the responsibilities of adulthood and fatherhood. But if it's not providing me the fulfillment that I generally look for, then there's no need in trying to force it. Yes, I've got a backlog of games that I would eventually love to get to, but the whole idea of a backlog creates unnecessary anxiety and, to be honest, creates work. And I do not want video games to feel like work. So for me, I'm just going to try and stop forcing the issue. Does that mean I'm giving up gaming? Absolutely not. Will I continue to pick up the controller this month, this week? Of course. But I think the shift is mostly within the mind. I'm not going to force myself to play a game that really isn't ticking the boxes for me, that isn't bringing that joy or fun, or if something isn't clicking, I may as well spend time doing some other things that I enjoy. So my question is, how do you deal with gaming fatigue? Have you ever experienced it? Are you enjoying everything that's coming out right now? Are you at an all-you-can-eat restaurant with games coming left, right, and center? Or have you also had times where it's felt overwhelming and you may need to explore other interests? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, click that sub button, and I'll see you in the next video shortly.